What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I got a story out of Fayette County, Pennsylvania, and it's involving these two people right here. The man is Jacob Waite Jr., and the woman is Mimi Frost. Guys, these two people were arrested on Tuesday after their 6-year-old daughter was found unresponsive after a 911 call was placed. And they did this child dirty, man. I'm going to just put it at that. Some of the stuff I'm going to show you in this news article, or they're going to state in this news article, is hard to believe. But believe it or not, it's a reality. And there are a lot of children out here unprotected. And there are a lot of parents that are savage in nature and shouldn't even be parents or alive for that matter. Check this out.
On primetime tonight, investigators are telling a horror story involving a 6-year-old girl. They say her parents abused her so severely, the Fayette County District Attorney is using the word torture to describe it. The details in the criminal complaint are very disturbing. State police say the parents abused their 6-year-old daughter by starving her, beating her, and locking her in a dog cage. The DA says this is one of the worst child abuse cases he's ever seen. After being arrested and charged with severely abusing their 6-year-old daughter, Mimi Frost had nothing to say. But Jacob Waite spoke while in handcuffs.
Yeah, I'm innocent. That's it.
Did you lock your daughter in a cage?
No.
State police started an intense investigation after they were called to a house on Sheridan Avenue in Brownsville a month ago for reports of an unresponsive 6-year-old girl. But what they learned was even more shocking.
Throughout our investigation, we realized that this little girl had suffered, for lack of a better way to put it, she had been tortured in that house. There were numerous abrasions on her body, open sores. She was believed to be septic.
Fayette County District Attorney Mike Auble says the girl was being held in a dog crate for hours at a time and was beat at the hands of her parents. There were several other kids in the home, multiple dogs, and 2 cats. In the criminal complaint, it says one teenager told investigators that Frost would put the girl in the dog kennel naked, would zip tie the girl's hands and feet together and lock the kennel, and wouldn't feed her for days. The victim told a therapist she slept in the dog cage every night and ate dog food, and that Waite beat her and shot her in the legs with a BB gun.
We found evidence that this little girl had been in there. The cage was zip tied shut. There was a master lock on one side. She was unable to get out of the cage. Apparently was punished anytime she did get out of the cage to try to find food.
Troopers said the home was in deplorable condition with dog feces, urine, and trash. There was no heat in the house, only space heaters. The district attorney says it's clear the 6-year-old was the target of all the abuse.
What her parents did to her was absolutely horrible. It's amazing that a human being could ever treat a child this way. And one of the worst parts about it is there were 5 other children in the house and 10 dogs, and none of them were malnourished.
When the girl was taken to the hospital, she had severe hypothermia. Investigators learned the child hadn't had routine pediatric care in 3 years and had been withheld from school. Auble says the parents will be brought to justice.
I can't imagine what this little girl suffered, and it's just awful. This little girl, by the grace of God, is alive.
Guys, it's funny. Some of the stuff I say to you guys is crazy how it just comes out. You know what I mean? Like comes to fruition real quick with some of the things I say, just, from general wisdom. It says the children were raised. Now there were six children in the house between the ages of 5 and 17 years old. Only the 6-year-old girl was the one that was succumbed to the abuse. See, a pattern forming is always one child that they pick out to put their frustrations on. In this case, it was a little girl. And what I was saying about how stuff come together that I say, and you see it in true form, it said the children were raised with the idea that she deserved it. And guess what? They themselves participated in the torture of said 6-year-old girl, their sibling. So, just like the other video I did about the little girl in Hawaii, may she rest in peace, And the little boy that was going, both of them were adopted, and the regular siblings were joining in on them. Same thing here. Psychopathic behavior is being taught and put right into the body of these children, their heart and mind, to be torturous against human beings when they shouldn't even be exposed to that. You got a 17-year-old boy and the age is ranging all the way down to 5. What do you think they're going to be like when they are parents or when they're in relationships and things don't go their way? Man, this is crazy. It says she hasn't seen a doctor in 3 years. At 6 years old, do you know what kind of maladies she could have and things that they can find at an early age? Or some type of corrective surgery or something wrong with her in her building stature as she's growing, that you know how important it is for a baby to go to the doctor? I seen another article, right? It was on the website, but it didn't have nothing where you could share it and pull it off, where I could show it to you guys. They had like 6 dogs in the house, big dogs. They said the house smelled like feces from the outside, whole floor covered in poop. They showed the inside of the house. It was them baby cage things that separate the dogs. It was a bunch of cushions and pillows. You was walking over stuff coming to the house. It looked like an abandoned house. And inside with electricity. And they was living like that. Poop all over the floor. All these kids in there. What kind of way is that to live for a human being, let alone a human being with children? These people were shit, both inside and out. When your house is disorganized, that should tell you have problems. It usually shows the disorganization that somebody's going through, either in their heart or their mind, depression, what have you. One of the things a lot of times they tell you when you're going through some type of depression or whatever, to snap out of it, clean your house up. This is crazy. She got the nerve to come out with her fat ass in a damn Penn State jersey on, sweatshirt. Wish it was me. I'd show her the flowers. I'd send her ass right to Happy Valley right now. One-way ticket, followed by a bullet. This is BS. You let your daughter get beat up by this bum-ass dude? Jacob Wait, he needs some weights dropped on his head. For real. Listen to this, y'all. Held her in a dog cage for numerous hours, zip-tied and naked, crushing her spirit. Look at her as less than nothing and want to make sure they let a 6-year-old girl know how they feel, both inside and out, destroying her mental capacity of just being sane. It's poop all over the floor. You know it was poop in the cage. They just threw her in it. Disgusting. For hours. Wouldn't feed it for days. Zip tied. They zip tied this child. Your child, you zip tie your own damn kid. Like she's some prisoner of war. Father would shoot her with a BB gun while in the cage, zip tied. If that was my brother, I would punch him in his mouth hard as shit. Do you know how torturous that is for a 6-year-old girl? Was she about to go to 1st grade? Begin learning. Kept her away from school. You know, people talk about violating somebody's civil rights. That right there is a straight civil rights violation. You denied her the right, just to the abundance of life, to enjoy life, the right to an education, and the right to fair treatment. These people are monsters. And the stuff that makes me mad is when they come out of court or you see them in court, they up there looking stupid. If you're that hardcore in the house, be hardcore outside, have stone face, and just walk through the thing. Either way, people gonna still feel the way they feel about you. Them crocodile tears and them stupid ass ugly faces y'all making like y'all sad don't mean nothing to the general public. They need to start having a tribunal of people that are sick of this and have lost somebody in heinous ways like this and just turn them over to them. Push them right the hell out there. Handle them. Man, you lucky. You lucky. For real. I'll be saying some imaginary shit. You lucky I don't run this country. I would change laws in a year. It would be totally different. Motherfuckers be like, oh shit. I mean, we still had the freedoms we got. But if you fuck up here in America, yeah, all right. You'll think twice about wanting to come to this country and live for real. And I would set it in stone. If you don't want to be here and be a productive member to a society, we'll get you out of here. You are not going to affect the biorhythm of harmony in the United States of America. I'm very concerned about the psychological ramifications that this had and the torturous nature within the parents rubbing off on these children that were accepting of this. Think about that. Why did you pick that girl out of all of them? Why did you pick her? Period. And I don't understand the psychological reasoning for this. All of these children were born, you know, from you guys. What did she do that made her stand out to where you wanted to harm her rather than the others or have the others join in? It's one of them things to think about. Did she have a learning disability? Did she have a mental illness? A lot of times it's something where they look at this sibling as weaker and they take their frustrations out. But honestly, they had a lot more worrying about than taking frustrations out on that kid. They should have took it out on themselves living in that nasty ass house. For real. Dog poop on the ground, y'all walking around in that shit, stinking. People walking by the house, they can stink. They said the house was so dirty, they didn't even know kids was in there. Lord, have mercy. Wow, this is something, the way that house looked, that's where you see usually people that, you know, it's like a drug house or it's like an elderly person that's a hoarder. These are able-bodied people. I'm sure they worked. And I bet they stunk at their job, walking through all that poop. You know, that smell get on your clothes. They need to pay the ultimate penalty. They do. And all of them children need to have psychological evaluations. And they need to watch how they interact with other children. Because if they show any type of psychopathic traits or something, they need to start dealing with that right now. Especially that 17-year-old and that 5-year-old. Because children don't watch what you say. They don't do what you say. They do what you do. I want to see the interaction of these younger kids around other kids. See if they got any violent tendencies or something, which they most likely have. We need to start really attacking this stuff and paying attention instead of saying, oh, we got the parents, so the kids are right. Just put them in a nice environment and they'll change. It don't be like that. These kids have done too much and they've seen too much. Do y'all agree or disagree? Just a different angle, you know, view of this whole thing. The little girl survived, y'all, and it's a miracle, but she'll never be the same. I hope they put her in a loving home, man, and people are patient with her because she's going to take a long road to recovery and socialization and trusting adults. That's the thing. She's so messed up with all of that stuff, she might not even be able to come back fully because her spirit was crushed. I mean, this is happening all over. No matter what color you are, this shit is wrong. And it's happening a lot. People are fed up with themselves. Instead of going outside and walking in front of a bus or a truck, let's take it out on the kid. Make it make sense. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.